As a result, iRadio's content has reached over 17 million people on Facebook, according to Facebook metrics for the last 3 years, a number larger than the population of South Sudan. Thank you for your continued feedback.
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good morning. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The Minister of General Education and Instruction says the marking of primary 8 examination papers is expected to be completed within 4 weeks, after which the results will be announced. The state stakeholders have adopted a set of resolutions aimed at promoting peace, security and socio-economic development at the conclusion of the Lake State Stakeholders Conference in Juba. And health authorities in Western Equatorial State are urging residents to remain vigilant and follow health guidelines as the state steps up measures to contain mpox following confirmed cases at Yambio State Hospital. These stories and more coming to in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo, and now the news in detail. The Minister of General Education and Instruction says the marking of primary 8 examination papers are expected to be completed within 4 weeks, after which the results will be announced. Minister Kuyok Abol Kuyok made the announcement after briefing the Vice President for Service Cluster, Josephine Laguyanga, on Thursday. According to a statement from the Office of the Vice President, the meeting focused on key developments in the education sector and ongoing efforts to improve service delivery across the country. Minister Kuyok said admission of students into senior secondary schools is expected to begin in the first week of March following the release of the results. The Vice President and the Minister also discussed the implementation of a cabinet resolution on vacating occupied school land. Kuyok raised concerns over what he described as widespread construction of private businesses and shops within school premises in urban centers in other parts of the country. According to the statement, Vice President Yanga directed the full implementation of the resolution to stop all illegal construction and address existing violations on school land. Lake's state stakeholders have adopted a set of resolutions aimed at promoting peace, security and socio-economic development at the conclusion of the Lake State Stakeholders Conference in Juba. The meeting concluded on Sunday under the theme Renewing Our Commitment for a Peaceful, Secure and Prosperous Lake State brought together government officials, traditional and religious leaders, women, youth and representatives of persons with special needs. Among the key resolutions was a strong reaffirmation of the rule of law, including the strict and equal enforcement of existing laws, the establishment of functional courts in all counties, and the abolition of collective punishment. Delegates also resolved to operationalize mobile courts and special courts to clear case backlogs and ensure timely justice. On security, the conference called for comprehensive security sector reform, emphasizing professional, disciplined and nationally loyal forces accountable to the state. Resolutions also included regulating firearm ownership through registration and licensing while avoiding uncoordinated disarmament in high-risk areas. Recognizing community conflict drivers, stakeholders identified cattle migration and cattle-related disputes as major cause of violence. They resolved to strengthen community-based peace dialogues, regulate disputed cattle camps, and improve early warning system to prevent conflict. The conference further called for youth and women empowerment to combat drug and substance abuse, expand vocational training, create employment opportunities, and ensure meaningful participation of women and youth in decision making. Harmful cultural practices, including high bride price and early marriage, were also singled out for reform. On governance and development, stakeholders committed to strengthening local government administration and empowering traditional authorities to promote inclusive leadership and invest in health, education, infrastructure, and local markets as foundations for sustainable peace. Health authorities in Western Equatoria State are urging residents to remain vigilant and follow health guidelines as the state steps up measures to contain mpox following confirmed cases at the Yambio State Hospital. The call comes after one patient died and 3 others tested positive for the viral disease. State officials said no cases have been reported as of Thursday morning. Speaking to iRadio, the State Minister of Health, James Abdallah Arona, said the situation remains calm, but precautionary measures are being intensified to prevent further spread. Minister Arona said a health committee has been deployed to Yambio State Hospital to establish isolation units, adding that suspected mpox patients will no longer be admitted to general wards alongside other patients. Minister Arona also warned that other counties including Zara and Tombra remain at risk due to population movement and called for heightened vigilance across the state. He urged residents to take mpox seriously by avoiding close contact with suspected cases, reporting symptoms early to health facilities and following health advice. Mpox is a viral disease transmitted through close physical contact. Common symptoms include fever, swollen lymph nodes, and a painful skin rash. This is iRadio Morning News, and now to the international scene. Dozens of people have been killed in a ferocious shooting attack on 2 villages in Nigeria's western state of Kwara after they refused to surrender to extremists who preach a strange doctrine, according to the state's governor. Governor Abdurrahman Abdul Razak said on X that 75 local Muslims were massacred in Tuesday's raid, while a state lawmaker told the BBC that 78 people had been buried so far and the death toll could rise to an estimated 170 as more corpses were being recovered. Blaming Islamist militant group Boko Haram for the killings, President Bola Tinubu deployed an army battalion to the affected areas. The assault was one of several across Nigeria in the last few days. Senior US and Iranian officials are expected to meet in Oman later for direct talks amid a crisis that has raised fears of a military confrontation between the two countries. The discussion came after a U.S. military build-up in the Middle East in response to Iran's violent repression of nationwide anti-government protests last month that human rights groups say killed many thousands of people. Uncertainty over the location and scope had threatened to derail the talks, which are part of diplomatic effort by regional mediators to de-escalate tensions. Both countries remain far apart in their positions. The hope is that, if successful, the discussions could lead to a framework for negotiations. This is iRadio Morning News, and to end this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines. The Minister of General Education and Instruction says the marking of primary aid examination papers is expected to be completed within 4 weeks, after which the results will be announced. Lake State stakeholders have adopted a set of resolutions aimed at promoting peace, security, and socio-economic development at the conclusion of the Lake State Stakeholders Conference in Juba. And health authorities in Western Equatoria State are urging residents to remain vigilant and follow health guidelines as the state steps up measures to contain mpox following confirmed cases at the Yambio State Hospital. That's the end of iRadio Morning News. If there is a story or an event you'd like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287 It's also a WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for our Arabic news at 8 o'clock on the Lasuba Memo. Thanks for listening.